Welcome everybody to 3NN episode 12. My name is Nick Tesla. His name is
Brian McFadden.
Sorry, this is the end of a cycle show. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about cycles, you know maybe your woman goes through a cycle or people go through cycles. At the end of the cycle, sometimes it's like, what's going on with them? And then all of a sudden they come out refreshed and feeling great. So we're at the end of our cycle here. We're gonna play another oldie but goodie for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Racing.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time, just as lovely as you used to be.
Alright, so for a majority of today's show, or as long as I can remember to do it, I'm going to talk how a country singer would have talked back in about 1963. We talked with a...
You reckon you really want to do that?
I reckon I really want to do that. We talked with much more soul. You found a lot more country music out there that had a lot more soul in it and a lot more hello, darling. You know, whereas today you got hello, darling.
I think, even the lyrical content has evolved from back then to today, where it's all about...
Devolved?
Well, yes.
It's all about whiskey drinking.
Yeah, drinking and pickup trucks.
Yep.
And the cousin's wife's third cousin who moved out.
And NASCAR! Even though I haven't heard a song, I haven't heard a country song about NASCAR. It's such a misconception that country and NASCAR are tied together. But I guess people who like NASCAR, more often than not, even though there's no
lot of them like
polls going on.
hard rock.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them like death metal, believe it or not.
I don't really watch NASCAR, but I get into NHRA drag racing sometimes, like the funny cars, John Force and all that. Then they use a lot of heavy metal and hard rock, like Godsmack and Drowning Pool, stuff like that.
Exactly, and same with rock, how rock has kind of devolved. I don't want to say devolved, because you still have some good rock nowadays, and you've had good rock over the past 10, 15, 20 years, 30, 40 years. But over the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, for country has devolved into much less of a soulful, where it almost had like a jazz feeling to it years ago, where you listen to some Conway Twitty or maybe some Elvis or I don't know, some Gentleman Jim Reeves or something. You listen to some of that and there's soul to it and there's heart to it. Whereas, or maybe even some old Willie Nelson, you know?
I like Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson's awesome. But
I like
nowadays,
Elvis, I like Willie.
Johnny
Cash.
It's really hard to it's hard to find that nowadays. I don't see that out there. And if it's out there, that's not the popular country. And it's really sad because pop has taken over. What shall I say, popular country. Pop has taken over.
It's all Brad
country.
Paisley and Big and Rich. That's the one. Big and Rich is a good example.
Big and Rich. I guess Randy Travis.
If there was ever a more rocked-up version of country than Big and Rich,
I don't think, is Randy Travis even around anymore? I don't follow country enough to know. Randy Travis is that one artist that I can actually think of that's a recent artist in the past 10, 20 years who actually had that, hey there, darling, what's going on now? See, I stopped talking like it. If I stop talking like it and you don't remind me, Brian, then we're going to have a problem, all right? If you pizza when you want a French fry, we're going to have a bad time. Okay, Brian? All right? So you need to understand where I'm coming from. I'm standing up for women's rights here, all right? Exactly.
What the hell does that have to do with...
I told you, this show is going to fly off the handle a little bit. You know, take that phone off the handle and then tell people, take the phone off the handle so people know this show is off the handle, off the easy.
Hey,
you know
if the government's listening, this show's off the handle.
This show is off the handle, off the easy. Oh, man, the latest South Park episode, if you really want to get me started, the latest South Park episode.
I missed it.
Please
enlighten me.
It was something about some dude, PewDiePie or something. I don't know. Some guy on YouTube. He's really famous. I'm a little bit jealous, to be a little bit honest. The guy's like, he just sits there and watches video games and records himself watching the video games and commenting on them.
So he's not even playing them?
No.
He's just sitting there watching?
I think it's the recording of him playing his video game. So him watching him playing the video game from before. It's not him playing the video game and commenting on it as he's playing it. He records himself playing it so he can play and focus on it, I think. And then he records himself commenting on his video of him playing the game.
Oh, yeah, I got what
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
There's
But
a tiny niche market for that.
there's a
but
tiny niche market.
that's
You
it.
really think there's a tiny niche market, but if you really
yeah, it's
understand
about all
how
500 people worldwide.
yeah, and you know what? That's what a lot of people. Yeah, those are my hamsters. Don't mind my hamsters over there. I try and corral them, but it's kind of tough sometimes. You know, they call me the Marlboro Man because I'll stand out there with my cigarette just watching them, just hoping that I could corral them one day.
They're
but I
funny
can't.
little critters.
Oh yeah, hamster. You got to see these things balls. They got such giant balls. It's not even funny. Well, what were we talking about again?
We were talking about country singers that talk with that "Hello, darling."
Hello, darling. It's really sad because you don't see it anymore. You really don't see it.
Coincidentally, the song is called "Hello, Darling."
Yeah, hello, darling. Well, it's like all these songs that just said hello in them. You know, I guarantee you, there's probably at least 10 different songs from the 60s and the 70s of country songs where they got hello somebody in the damn title. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just wanted to just touch on that real quick. It was nice for us to open up with some heartfelt country. You know what I'm saying? I think of Forrest Gump. When I think of heartfelt country, I think of Forrest Gump and that down-home country life of just being kind of an idiot. But you know what? I'm an idiot with a purpose. And
We are not saying that country music is just
Oh
for
no no
idiots.
no no no! I love country music, and if country music for idiots, then you know what?
God.
Call me an idiot right now. If that's what you want to do, call me an idiot right now.
You're just going from one to.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not finding the flow in this
Nah,
conversation.
we're
you're
tumbling
losing
down the
me a
mountain
lot.
right now. We're trying to hang on a branch
You
or a
went from
tree or something.
hello,
here and there.
you went from "Hello, darling"
Hello,
to
darling.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, there's some really good Conway Twitty songs. I really wish I could find at least one of them right here. I guess there's a lot of good ones, but the good ones I know, they're not right here right now. So you know, we're not going to go on with the Conway Twitty discussion. All right, we're going to move on to more pressing issues. I definitely want to touch on Eric Garner. You know this guy, this feller Eric Garner?
Feller.
Yeah, this feller Eric Garner. I tell you what, man, they act like, I don't know if you've seen this video. I heard about the uproar. Okay, the uproar. You got these dudes and these broads out there that they're protesting.
Dames.
The broads, they're protesting, okay? They're protesting that this guy, Eric Garner, got choked to death and died. Well, you know what they say about this Eric Garner guy is that, you know what? He should have stopped eating cheesesteaks 4 years ago. If he stopped eating cheesesteaks 4 years ago, maybe he wouldn't have had a heart problem and he wouldn't have choked and died. But you know what? You watch this video. That's what they say on mainstream media. Sorry, you might think that's my belief.
No, I don't really watch
that ain't my
mainstream
belief.
media.
Yeah, I ain't watching the mainstream media, but I do follow the nonsense that they're trying to tell people and try and steer people from the nonsense. And the nonsense that they're trying to put out there is that this guy had health issues anyway, and that he probably would have died in any kind of police altercation no matter what. Or at least that's the way they're trying to portray it. That's not the truth, because if you see this video, they did not need to subdue him the way that they did. I'm sure that they had tasers, or at least access to tasers, so that they could have tased this big man. I've seen plenty of videos, whether it be on cops or on the YouTubes. Oh, we got the YouTubes pulled up.
Even mace would be functional, even against a big person. That's gonna make them flinch.
Exactly.
Long enough for you to employ
that's going to make
another-
me want to go on to something else that I was thinking about, or I have been thinking about recently. But when you see this video of Eric Garner, okay, you think to yourself, this is one big feller, okay? He's probably what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Feller.
He's probably about what? 350? You know, maybe 375. He's a big boy. He got a big belly. He's scary. You know what I'm saying? But maybe the way to handle a giant man like that who's just selling individual cigarettes on the street, that's what I'm hearing this is all about. And this whole altercation was because of.
Yeah, that's
'cause
about
he was
right.
selling Lucy's. That's what
Yes,
they
sir.
call. That's what they call them down in Alabama. That's what they call them, is the Lucy's.
That's what they called him in Camden too.
Exactly. All right. Well, this guy's selling Lucy's, and the way to handle him is to go up behind him and choke him, and then when he's saying, "I can't breathe, please help, I can't breathe," and you just gonna keep on choking him. Well, that's murder. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
but that's murder. But then again, police can kind of do whatever they want, whatever force necessary. Was already in like some Supreme Court thing they said for a few years ago. Okay, this is what they said. This is exactly what the police said. The Supreme Court said about the police, that the police, okay, did not have to protect the public. They did not have to protect the public.
Isn't that their only job?
They are policy enforcers. I'm losing my accent, but you know what? I'm not going to lose my accent. I'm not going to let it go. I just won't let it happen. I love this accent. I'm going to hold on to it as long as I can because it's fun. Okay? But you know what's not fun? Knowing that the police can harm the American people when they're supposed to be here to protect the American people.
Your twang's getting thicker.
Do you know how many people, how many young boys out there, okay, young lads who are 10 years old looking at the police officers saying, they used to look up police officers and say, I want to be a good person and protect the moral justice of society. And you know what? Those police officers are what you call oath keepers nowadays. But you got these other little brats, these little spoiled some bitches, all right? They grow up getting everything handed to them. They got the PS4. They're playing the Call of Duty. They don't give two damns about anybody else.
Hey, careful there, old man. I play Call of Duty.
They don't want to eat their broccoli. They don't want to do what they're told to do by their parents. And that's great that they're a little bit rebellious. But you know what? These little bastards, they look up to police. They got such an attitude. That's the problem, all right? They got the attitude. That's what gets them. But the attitude, they got the attitude, and they look up to these police officers, and they see these police officers beating innocent people, beating peaceful protesters, beating these people upside the head with his billy club, and this kid says, you know what? I bully kids at school, okay? I bully kids at school. You mean to tell me I can have a job where I can do that and legally get away with it?
Of course, they jump on it. They jump on it.
That's my
and
job.
And get paid to do it.
I get to drive around and just look for people to bully. I want that job.
Those are the kind of people that we do not need in the police force.
Now moving on to something a little more serious.
And there's way too many of them.
It hurts. I don't know how people can even talk like that. But you know what? You kind of enjoy it.
When you grow up with it.
But you don't want to stop. Once you're doing it, you don't want to stop. You know what I'm saying? All right, right. I wanted to talk about tear gas and how tear gas, all right, we were talking about the police and how they can use excessive force and get away with it. And like, how does the grand jury, like what's going on with the grand juries if they're not indicting these people?
Yeah.
And you know who they indicted in that case? The guy who recorded the film.
Well,
what's up with that?
I heard this on a lot of alternative news outlets in the past week. And the general consensus amongst the media is pretty much the same, is in a grand jury case, there is no, like, jury of the peers. You don't get to, like, plead your case. It's you versus the prosecutor. There's not an attorney.
Yeah, I know.
So,
and
basically, hold on.
Gets what
so
he
for
wants.
people at home who haven't put it together, the only way you get prosecuted, or indicted, rather, the only way you get indicted in a grand jury case is by the prosecutor. So the only way that you don't return an indictment is when the prosecutor decides not to indict.
See, then it's all just malarkey. That's what it is. So what it comes down to, this excessive force, is just malarkey. And you know what? What the prosecutor is probably saying, the prosecutor and the police officers, they all kind of work together and work with each other, so they don't really want to screw each other over unless it's like, yo, you murdered a 4-year-old child. What is wrong with you? Why'd you kick that child upside the head? We got video of you kicking that child upside the head, and then you shot him. You shot him right through his right shoulder, but he bled to death, and you killed that little boy. Why'd you do that? But the prosecutor, unless it's something like that, unless it's something serious like that, where it's like, there's nothing we can do to say that you didn't do anything wrong here, if they can try and cover up their tracks for the officer, the prosecutor don't do it. And that's a problem. It's a problem in this world. It's a problem in this country. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge problem. Excessive force of police is justified by the prosecutors not indicting them when they use this excessive force.
That's the
they
problem.
Let them stay on the job, and the only time these officers feel like that they need to resign or leave the post is when there's a bunch of public outrage.
Well,
so it's good when there's
that's
public
where
outrage.
Protests come in.
That's where the protests come in.
But the problem is you get people that forget what they were there to protest, are protesting the wrong thing,
Asian
or just show up because it's a protest.
Asian provocateurs.
Yeah,
we talked about that. Don't we talk about that? We talked about the Asian provocateurs. There's definitely been Asian provocateurs in Ferguson. There has. You know there's been Asian provocateurs in Ferguson.
And New York.
Oh, definitely in New York. We already know about that. You know? It's the G8 summit in Seattle. Was that it? The G8 summit? I don't know. It might have been, but they didn't come back
Probably
to
was
cheers.
Agent
But you know what
Provocateur
else they're
involved.
using? You know what else they're using?
No, what's that, sir?
I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you before I tell you. This thing that they're using on the American public is banned. Is banned in warfare, in international warfare between two countries. It is banned through the Geneva
Chemical
Convention.
weapons.
It is a chemical weapon. You cannot use this. You can use mustard gas. No, you cannot use mustard gas because that's another chemical weapon, but it's probably the same on the par with mustard gas and just as bad for you. It's called tear gas. They're using tear gas on the American people. What is up with that? Not cool, man. It's not cool. What's wrong with this? I don't like it. I don't like it. So you're losing something that's already been banned through the Geneva Convention, but there's a little clause that says you can use it for domestic purposes, but that domestic purposes is supposed to be for if this little militia from Texas decides to rise up and wants to fight the National Guard or something, then you know what? You might get to use your tear gas. That's time to pull it out. But you don't use the tear gas just on peaceful protesters. You know what I found out about the Ferguson thing?
What you find out?
I found out that at Ferguson during the riots and the protests, the police was over by the peaceful people, bothering the peaceful people, wanting to arrest peaceful people, and the people that was rioting and the buildings that were on fire and where the police was actually needed, the police wasn't there. They were just letting chaos rip.
Well, look at it this way. Those police are probably scared for their lives too, so they have to do something. Are you going to go for the really tough-looking
I
target
thought
or
that
the
exact same
easy-looking
thing.
target?
If you're a police
I'm
officer in
playing devil's
Ferguson,
advocate.
Missouri, but if you're a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, even if you're not a regular Ferguson, Missouri police officer, but you've been brought in Ferguson, Missouri to kind of keep the peace, right? You're still a human being.
Yes.
This is still insane, and you want to just stay where it's safe.
But
So
you're
groups
panicking,
of you
you
are
have
going
to
to stay
do
together in a
something.
safe place, not where you're going to get attacked by the rioting people throwing Molotov cocktails.
But we weren't there in the moment, so we really don't know
Yeah,
how
we don't. It's all
frightened these
conjecture.
officers were.
It's
what
all
condition-
conjecture. What you really got to look for in an instance like this is you've got to look for individuals who are on the ground, feet on the ground, pounding the ground with their own video cameras, putting their own videos up on YouTube that live in Ferguson, Missouri, and are actually documenting what's going on.
This accent.
If you know what's being, if you got documented, right, and you know it's all documented on computer, and you got it all on there, you got the video and everything, you upload it to the YouTube, well, then everybody can really know what's going on. You don't have to listen to this media conjecture, or you can listen to this news station on TV I found called the RT Network.
Great network.
Oh my
Love
God!
RT.
I don't know what it stands for. I think it's
Russia
called
Today.
Real Truth or something because it's awesome and it's the truth. You got to check it out. I don't know why I'm such a big fan, but I am. And I heard it's some Russia state-sponsored shit.
RT is Russia Today, and the reason it's so good is it's not run by the American state-run
You know what? I'll
media.
tell you what. Sucks to be Russian because you know what? If you're in Russia and you're trying to watch the truth about Russia, you ain't got nothing. It's not like you can watch American TV and
Oh, no,
America's
'cause-
going to tell
yeah,
you the
good-
truth about Russia.
good
Americans
point.
going to give you their own propaganda fest on to Russia and on this new Cold War that I guess we're entering into and don't even know about.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
average
yes,
person-
the House resolution that just passed.
I don't even know about the House
condemning-
resolution.
oh, they
I don't
just-
follow
I
the
forget the
politics,
number.
but what's in my newspaper on
They
Sunday
condemned
morning.
Russia for their actions in Ukraine earlier in the year.
Oh wow, yeah,
That
well,
passed in the Senate and the House.
I would think they would. But that don't mean nothing. That's like the same as the UN condemning Israel's takeover of Palestine. And the genocide that's going on in Palestine or the Palestinian people. That's like a condemning of that. Ain't nothing going to come of it because Russia's a superpower. Israel's a superpower. Somehow, Israel stepped on in and said, hey, look, I'm superpower. Look at me. I got my crown on. I'm the king of the world. And can't nobody touch me. And everybody believes him. He still got his fake little cardboard crown on. And everybody believes he's the king of the world. Israel can't do nothing wrong. Hey, you're an anti-Semite. You say anything wrong about Israel, you're an anti-Semite. I'm sorry for getting into it, but you know what? It's the truth. It's the truth, Brian. It's the truth. I'll tell you what, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, you said a lot there on a lot of different things.
Yeah, there was a couple other things I want to touch on. I'm not the king of the world, nor do I want to be, nor do I want to act like I am, so I will put the king of the world crown back. There's one thing that I was saying one day, is that one day McDonald's and Burger King are going to merge, and McDonald's obviously is going to buy Burger King, but they're going to want to keep some of the King heritage, so they might even keep these on board and still give them out as a little fancy treat for the little kiddos, for the little ones, right? But what they're going to end up doing is putting this here crown on Ronald McDonald and making him King Ronald. I'll tell you what. All right.
I could see that happening
I could see
just
it
like
happening.
that.
So there's a couple things I want to touch on. Then we got a whole bunch of facts that are just going to blow your mind. And
Just random facts.
And we're gonna give
we
you-
mean random.
we're going to give you our best conjecture of what we think. If that makes any sense to you.
And hopefully he'll stop talking like this in the near future.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, what happened about 73 years ago, was it? Woo, it's a long time ago now, but what happened 73 years ago today here, if you could tell me now, pal?
Well, 73 years ago today was December the 7th of 1941. And
Well, no, I don't want the date. I want to know what happened there, friend. I want to know what happened. You're
Well,
giving
you know,
me dates, throwing
the
dates
sun
out
came
here.
up, the
73
birds
years
were
ago, there
chirping.
was a date, I'm sure, but I want to know what happened on that date.
Well, the sun came up, the birds were chirping, you know, the little kiddos are running around in
There
the
you go.
field.
He's visual. I can visualize what's happening now. Thank you.
You know, some people might have slept in that morning, you don't know. But all of a sudden, these little tiny Japanese airplanes all appeared out of friggin' nowhere and started dropping bombs on the naval base at Pearl Harbor.
Kamikazes? Were they the kamikazes?
Some were.
I heard there was the kamikazes.
There was.
I always thought, I wonder if there was kamikaze Nazis. You know what I'm saying? You ever think about
Actually, yeah,
that?
there probably was.
I think there was kamikaze Nazis. You
I think
know?
there probably was.
Pretty crazy, Pearl Harbor.
No, Pearl Harbor, they had some planes dropped bombs, some planes went kamikaze.
But what is now
straight
the
in.
new
Some
common
would
truth?
drop a bomb and then kamikaze.
What is now the new common truth that mine and your children and our grandchildren will know going forth into the future? What is the common truth that we all know about Pearl Harbor now? At least the smallest truth that everybody knows, or that everybody's becoming to know in the next 10 years. Everybody should know. What's this truth, Ryan?
That the people in the control tower had advanced knowledge, or not the people in the control tower, the higher ups, we'll say, had
President?
possibly, and some of his cabinet
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah. All right.
knew in advance
Heard
that
it
that
myself.
attack was going to take place, and there was conveniently some type of maintenance on their radar system at the Pearl Harbor base at the time of the attack that morning, so they didn't see the planes coming in.
Go ahead.
I think that's pretty much the smallest, simplest truth that needs to come out of it all, because that's still not really being admitted in too many places. Or if it is, not too many people are picking up on it and talking about it.
Tell you what movie sucked? Pearl Harbor. Movie sucked. I like to review movies. I figure myself a movie connoisseur, and I like to say that movie I give 2 thumbs down. Boring. It's like I'd rather watch Titanic. I want to watch a long movie, drawn out movie based on true events. Some romantic piece of garbage. I'm gonna watch Titanic. Why don't I
Now,
watch
you know
Pearl
what?
Harbor?
If I'm going to watch a long, drawn-out movie based on true events, it's either going to be We Were Soldiers, or...
Transcendence. No, you know,
I was going to say The Bourne Ultimatum.
that's even worse.
That's actually a great movie, but you could argue that kind of stuff does happen.
You know what happens with
There
a
are
movie like
operatives.
that? You know what happens with a movie and a story and books like that? They all get tainted by some crappy actor like Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon is horrible. I don't know who's worse, him or Pitbull, the
Pitbull.
rapper.
Pitbull. Always.
All right,
Pitbull.
I wanted to touch on a couple
No.
things before we get on these things that are going to blow your mind. All right. It's going to be real quick. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm just going to give you what it is, the definition, okay, and then the ideology, okay. The ideology is maybe about like a paragraph and a half long. But you know what? I'm never going to get it done if I just sit here and talk about it. So why don't I tell you what I'm trying to write? Okay?
Oh my God.
All right. Agorism Agorism, okay? Agorism, okay, has nothing to do with Al Gore. So don't get your mind off of Al Gore. He did not invent the
Excelsior!
internet. He did not invent the internet, and you know what? He's got all these people thinking that global warming is fake because he's a nut job and he involved himself with it. You know what? Just because you vice president, or you was vice president, doesn't mean you can't go crazy later on in life. You know? Anyway, agorism, nothing to do with Al Gore. Agorism is a libertarian social philosophy that advocates creating a society in which all relations between people are voluntary exchanges by means of counter-economics, thus engaging in a manner with aspects of peaceful revolution. It was first proposed by libertarian philosopher Samuel Edward Konkin III in 1975, with contributions partly by J. Neil Schulman. Okay, I'm going to give you the ideology.
Ooh, I don't know who these people are that you're mentioning.
Because this is all about agorism and libertarian agorist social philosophy. Okay, so we're going to touch on ideology, and then we'll I guess we'll move on to facts that'll blow your mind.
Can we hear that in a Nick Tesla normal voice?
Hello, ideology. Agorists consider themselves market anarchists. While many characterize it as a form of left libertarianism, others consider it a branch of or a transition strategy for achieving anarcho-capitalism. Agorists generally oppose voting for political candidates and political reform. Instead, agorists stress the importance of alternative strategies rather than politics to achieve a free society. Agorists claim that we can achieve a free society more easily and sooner by employing such alternative methods as education, direct action, alternative currencies, entrepreneurship, self-sufficiency, and most importantly, counter-economics. Agorists consider their message to be scientific because science is an appeal to reason. Why they believe is only possible in the agora, or free market, they also argue that state-backed, regulated, and funded science is illegitimate. So that's where we'll leave off on agorism for this week, okay? But we'll definitely come back to agorism at another time. It's a philosophy that I like to follow. You know, this is a Wikipedia, one of those times where Wikipedia kind of lets you down. It doesn't give you the whole Wikipedia page. Is literally, for agorism, it's a pretty large topic, and you got literally 2 pages of Wikipedia. That's ridiculous.
That's disturbing.
That's very disturbing. Wikipedia, get your shit together, okay? So, on that note, let's move on to more pressing issues. Wonder Bread's not as wonderful for your health as you might have thought, but whoever thought Wonder Bread was good for their health? The only time Wonder Bread's good for your health is when you slather it in butter. I'll tell you what. That's some good Wonder Bread.
Slap some bacon in between it.
That's what I'd call a wonderful Wonder Bread. Yeah, the bacon's good for you as well. All right. So let's see. We got a whole bunch of things here. Oldest DNA. This is all stuff from like show 2. So you know what? We'll just put our show notes from 5 episodes or 10 episodes ago away. Put them down here. Genius
for
light
the
on.
viewers at home, we have new photos of beautiful little happy furry little kittens for your amusement and our enjoyment and to brighten the atmosphere a bit.
I like cats.
And Alf with his hands up, don't shoot protest sign and mask.
Unfortunately, Alf is protesting this week. I have yet to be able to get out and protest, but Alf is definitely standing in solidarity with Ferguson, Missouri, Eric Garner, and that protest going on around the country. And also, I think there's a new
Just
one going on.
Against police brutality.
Against police brutality and you know what I really think happened? Racial profiling got out of hand. There was no check put on racial profiling. Because I hate to say it, it's a race
in
issue.
In Ferguson, it is a big issue, but New York, I don't think race was
around the country. Around the country.
Oh yeah.
New York's been clamped down on a little bit because of stop and frisk, and they did repeal that or whatever. But with so many other municipalities, even if it's a...
You know what? I'm glad you got onto this. Here's a story for you.
I don't know if I want a story.
No, this is good. On Black Friday, there's some neighbors over my way.
This is a recent event, not
a
story.
Two very large...
tattletale.
Well, these are 2 very large black gentlemen nice guys, but they're built.
You're
like
racist,
linebackers.
Brian. You're racist. Okay, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway.
I just gotta let you feel like you're on mainstream media for a second.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think he's racist. All right, good.
1776.
All right, Alex Jones is a little bit racist. But
Anyway.
go ahead.
Where were? Okay. These two
Where were we?
They went to the game. Oh, a local GameStop that happens to be close to where we film.
Okay.
And they're in there on Black Friday looking to do some Christmas
So
shopping.
two black guys, Black Friday.
Big linebacker type dudes.
Okay, so linebacker,
But they weren't
black.
they're just in there to shop.
Black Friday.
And, they're in there maybe
Two.
about 10,
Times
15
two.
minutes looking around. They
Right.
had a bunch of games, gaming system they were going to get.
They ran out.
No. The
See? Look, I'm not
township's
racist. I swear.
police department comes walking in.
Oh, wow.
Turns out that the store employees thought that the two guys looked scary and called the police.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
They then, when they realized, after the cops arrived and frisked them and embarrassed them in front of everybody, the GameStop tried to make it up to them, of course. We're going to give you this, we'll give you this, we'll offer you this, other than that. No, we're not letting this go. We'll see you in court.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You don't do that. That's so ridiculous.
You want to
my
talk
God.
profiling?
Well, it's spread. It's spread to. All right, think about how it used to be a joke with Chinese people. You go into a Chinese-run convenience store or something in the city, and a black person goes in there, and a Chinese person is like, "Oh, you buy something now?
Yeah.
You buy? You buy?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be a joke. It used to be funny. You'd see it on Saturday Night Live on Mad TV. You'd see it as treated as a joke. Now, I think that it's not with Chinese people, unfortunately, because then we'd have I don't want to say an easier solution because it would be a whole nother problem, but it's a more every other race and black people thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Every other race, other than I hate to say Puerto Ricans, but a lot of Puerto Ricans kind of associate themselves as not as black, but they associate themselves closer and understand black people a little bit more, and they don't look at black people as stereotypical as the rest of the races do, as your Chinese do or your Jewish do. And I'm not anti-Semitic. No, I'm not. Might be anti-Israel, but I'm anti-Zionism.
You beat me to it.
I am anti-Zionism. Damn it! I love the Jews. I love them. I love orange juice, grape juice, apple juice, and all Jews, even the Jews in Palestine and Israel.
Oh my goodness. Like we said, this show's off the handle today. Hey, here we go. We got our little band.
Yeah, do it. All right. So time for some amazing facts.
Oh, wait.
Your
It's
mind.
time for me to real quick perpetuate the pharmaceutical agenda and take my antibiotic for
Oh, and I
today.
also wanted to say something about Doritos. Love you, but you've got to be dousing these things in MSG. They've got to be run through like a dry bath of MSG. Like every single one of them must literally before it gets processed into packaging, before it gets to this shit. That's what this is. This is this flavoring stuff on Doritos. All right, it's spices and good stuff and this and that, and some of it's artificial stuff and probably not so good for you. But then I guarantee you, it's mixed it's cut halfway with MSG. Guarantee you, it's got to be cut halfway.
Halfway.
With MSG. And same with Lay's potato chips. Salt that they put on Lay's potato chips is cut halfway with MSG. And
So you're
same
saying
with
50% of that salt.
same, but you know what Pringles does different? Pringles puts it in the chip itself. So
Yes.
the chip is irresistible itself, not just the coating on the chip. Because how many people have you seen who literally will buy a bag of Doritos and just go,
I have never seen anyone do that in my life.
it's like the same thing with Oreos, where you buy Oreos, you take them apart, and you lick all the fucking cream
Okay,
off,
that I have
put them back
done when I
together,
was
and
little.
toss the stupid Oreos to the side.
I did that when I was a
Or
kid.
muffin tops. Who wants the bottom of the muffin?
Or how about when I was a kid, I would get
Or
Lucky
top of
Charms
muffin, whatever
cereal.
it is.
Lucky Charms cereal. I'd pick all the marshmallows
Oh, yeah,
out and
I
just
like
eat
all
those
that.
and throw the cereal away.
Huh?
When I was a kid, I would get Lucky Charms
Yeah.
cereal.
How many times did you
Just-
do that as a
I would
kid?
only eat the marshmallows. The
Yep.
rest, sometimes with milk, sometimes
Yep.
without. But either way,
Yep.
I wouldn't eat the cereal.
It's also, what does this have to do with anything? I don't know. Then maybe we should just get off the whole food topic because we'll probably come back around to it anyway. But what do you call it? The
It's that kind of show today.
what is it? Reese's Puffs. You remember when Reese's Puffs first came out? Oh, they
So
tasted
good.
so good. They were so peanut butter and flavorful. Nowadays, you get Reese's Puffs, it's like, what did they do?
Yeah. it
What
doesn't-
happened to this?
I thought I was the only one, honestly.
Yeah, no, they changed.
Something's
they
different
They
in the
downgraded
flavor.
the flavor.
Yeah.
It's not as strong of a peanut butter flavor. I don't understand.
not at all. It almost has like more of an, I want to
Yeah.
say more like an iron taste.
It's
than
actually, I
used
think
to.
they went to a more of an artificial taste where they were trying to match the peanut butter taste, and they got pretty close to it, and they saved
Not close
They saved
to,
like
no.
50% in one ingredient, or they saved 50% in total ingredients for it, and they're like, we're gonna stick with this, even though it tastes a little bit different. It tastes a little bit less as good and a little bit less peanut buttery and goodness. Well, we can save so much money, and we'll make so much more money putting it out there because people will always buy Reese's Puffs cereal. You know. And it sucks, you know, when they do artificial stuff. Because you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to find a candy that's actually flavored by banana and not used the nasty, disgusting artificial banana flavor.
Because
makes me
it
wanna
really
get it.
doesn't taste like banana. It tastes.
No, it doesn't taste like banana at all.
It tastes like sugar and cough syrup.
Yep.
Like.
Yep. And it's funny how every time you get anything that's apple or supposed to be apple, it's like either sour apple or like it's not actually how, if you ever actually have a fresh apple, it's like a fresh apple tastes really good, fresh, you know what I'm saying, juicy.
Ooh,
Like the apple that you're getting from, what do you call it, from any kind of candy is supercharged apple, like that apple taste times like 1,000, where
Wait,
it's just
how
like
about-
ah, and it's same with lemon.
Yeah.
You know, lemon taste is actually kind of good. Yeah, it'll
The
make you go-
lime they got kind of close with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have many lime things. It's other than like lime. I think they have made lime Doritos.
I think
but
orange
it could
could
just
be-
be the MSG. And it's like, how come these say
Oh,
products?
and when you get grape flavored candy, that is not grape.
Oh.
That is purple. There's
Oh,
a difference.
I was just getting ready to say, how come they don't label MSG on these? Monosodium glutamate. Took out.
Oh, good thing you read the bag first.
Yeah, it's stuck
it
out
is
like a-
right there on the
Yeah,
bag.
and it stuck out like a sore thumb to me right there. I didn't realize they put that. But you know what I wanted to find? You know, it's a really good idea, really good business idea.
What's this?
Where sometimes when you know the truth about a lot of stuff, and like health and nutrition and stuff being the case in point here, is you can use it to your own advantage. All right, find yourself a manufacturer of MSG. All right, that will send you MSG by the like 5-pound, 10-pound bag, or even 30-pound bag, or
You gonna make your own
25-pound bag,
potato
right?
chips? Is that what
No, you don't make your own potato chips. You open up your own little food stand, right? Start out with a food stand. You'll be getting into a restaurant before you know it. But or whatever you want to do food-wise, you can open up a little store that doesn't. It's just a kitchen, you know, like kind of Pat's or Gino's in Philly, if you know how that is. But you basically.
I think everyone in the country knows Pat's and Gino's.
Exactly. All right. Well, you open up a little food store like that serves fresh, like hot dogs, burgers, cheesesteaks, stuff like that. Like all your regular staples. If you know South Jersey food, that's your regular pizza joint staple food.
Yeah.
Maybe not pizza. I wouldn't sell pizza personally. But and you just sprinkle MSG on everything you sell.
You just
Screw it.
described Johnny G's
Screw it.
right up the street.
Screw it. And then you say all you have to do is you put notices on the wall that say none of our food is any worse for you than a bag of Doritos. That's all you have to say. You know. Of course, yeah. If you have to list ingredients and stuff like that, so people want to see the ingredients.
Yeah.
Of course, you can see that we put in a monosodium glutamate on our food. That's who cares? You can see whatever. We put a couple other artificial. There's other artificial things that go into our food. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like the way he's
But-
thinking here.
You sprinkle that on everything you sell, people will be addicted to your food like crack and coming back every day like, I need more. I need more. Especially, all right? And if you're smart about it, you open a place that has like dollar burgers. You still sprinkle it on the dollar burgers. You know, it's a burger, bun, cheap-ass burger. Like you get from the not dollar store, but you get from the grocery store and like a Bubba burger. There you go. All right, bun, cooked Bubba burger, sprinkled MSG, cheese, tiny little bit more sprinkled MSG, tiny little bit of salt sprinkled on top of that, bun, you know, or sorry, ketchup and mustard and a pickle or something. And blah, give that away for $1. Those people come back almost every day for that damn burger.
You know, you just described. Oh, what are they called?
Jay's
McDonald's.
Elbow Room? Oh, Jay's Elbow Room, I think. If Jay's Elbow Room doesn't do that, yeah, Jay's Elbow Room couldn't handle it because that place is literally the size of our studio here.
Yeah,
But-
literally.
But Jay's Elbow Room does lunch for $1.
Really?
You know that they got cheesesteaks, burgers, all this stuff. I haven't had it. Somebody told me about it, but I'm checking it out. Tell you what, even though it's a little hike from where I work, I don't care. I'll go up on that. For $1, I'm gonna go up and get myself 3 cheesesteaks and 3 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, right.
$6, and I got all this food. I'm happy.
For real.
But that's the way to go. You get people to come back. You know, that's their lunch special. But you do that somewhere else, and you sprinkle MSG on all your food. That's where you gotta like check your morals and be like, oh yeah, but is that really right? Well, if you advertise it to people, it's still not right. You know, so a lot of people would use that as justification. Well, if you advertise
Well, they're
it to
making
people,
the decision.
it's
If you
on
have
them,
signs
blah, blah, blah.
everywhere.
No, you don't
in there.
perpetuate the system that is killing people. MSG,
That's true.
if you've ever seen in documentaries or whatever, even your own research, if you've seen what MSG does to rats, don't ever give anything that's got MSG in it to your food or to your pets, to your dogs or your cats. Because if you give it to them at all on the regular, you're going to kill them within a year or two. MSG will kill them. It'll give them some form of cancer. And you'll be like, how'd they get cancer? What's that? Or how does your dog or my cat get cancer? From Doritos. Which is so good. And it's so good for us, it's so good for them. Our bodies can handle it. You know, our bodies can process it all out. Yeah, it's going to kill us in the long run. But the long run is only a year or two for your damn dog or your cat. So don't feed it Doritos, damn it. Or anything with MSG. Don't feed it Chinese food. What the hell's wrong with you? One, you might be feeding your cat itself, you know, or its mom or dad. Plus, you're feeding it MSG. Come on, double doozy. You just know better. Should know better. All right.
True that.
Amazing rap. That'll blow your mind.
Okay, random facts that are pretty much random.
Yeah, these facts are actually brought to you by 3 different websites: BuzzFeed, Viral Nova, and Mental Floss. But we're going to go through them. These are some pretty good ones. You can't hum while holding your nose. Pretty crazy. If any of you want to try any of these, Brian, as we're going along, go ahead. It's pretty hard.
No, you can't.
Isn't that crazy? I tried it when I first saw it. I told you I read the first 5 of like each one. So the surface area of Russia is slightly larger than that of the surface area of Pluto. Insane in the membrane.
Interesting.
Anne Frank and Martin Luther King Jr. were born in the same year. Anne
Really?
Frank? What?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I believe
Then
it.
how?
I believe it, dude. You gotta remember, Anne Frank wrote all that stuff about the shit
Oh, she
when
was
she
young.
was a kid.
Yeah.
She was
right,
a little kid.
right. You know, yeah.
Anne Frank Diaries, son. All right.
That's what I
4.
was thinking. Was the Anne Frank Diary?
Yep. Seniors graduating in the class of 2015 have never been alive while The Simpsons was not on TV. Misleading fact, only because seniors who have been held back for 3 or 4 years were definitely alive for a year or 2 when Simpsons were on. Okay. 5, the population of Mars consists entirely of robots. I have to contest with that too, because if there is a human civilization or an alien civilization on Mars, then that's not the truth. But if the truth is what we've been told about Mars, or what the mainstream view on Mars is, then yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a true fact. All right, Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Did you know
What?
that?
How does that work? Now this
There's
one,
a lot of situations like that. We'll come across another one about the Ottoman Empire and a company that's still around today. So there are more fake flamingos in the world than real flamingos. I believe that.
Now, that's
Production, that's
interesting.
capitalism for you.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
You make more of a fake animal than there are real ones, just because people like the way they look. New York City is further south than Rome, Italy. Did not know that, but that's pretty interesting. Mammoths went extinct 1,000 years after the Egyptians finished building the Great Pyramid. So that means mammoths were around for the Great Pyramid. That's a pretty crazy one that blows your mind. There were still people making their way across the United States via the Oregon Trail the year the fax machine was invented. That's pretty interesting.
That's very interesting.
That must have been like the 40s or the 30s or something. Maybe it was 1910 or something. I don't know. All right, 1998 is as far away as 2030. That blows my mind when I think about that. I literally think about that on a daily basis. How 1995 or 1998, 1999, they all seem like they were not that long ago. But when you really think about it, if I was back in 1999 or 1998 and I thought about the same amount of time backwards, I would have been thinking about like 1980 or 1982 or something like, oh, wow, I really would have jumped back, you know? Or if I think about my whole lifespan right now, like when I was born back in the 80s, if I think about the 80s and that being 30 years ago now, then if I look at back in the 80s, 30 years before that, that was the 50s? Are you kidding me? So there was the 60s, the hippie revolution, all that happened like in that 30 years before I was born. Now here I am, this 30 years. It's just weird to think about.
I'm thinking about the
Messing
things
with my
that
head.
happened in my 30 years. Let's see, I was born and grew up during
Next
the
30 years.
It's like, let's see, we had the Cold War, Then we had the Persian Gulf crisis.
Uh-huh.
Then we had the Oklahoma City bombing.
Uh-huh.
Then we had 9/11.
Uh-huh.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Uh-huh.
Then Operation Iraqi Liberation.
Uh-huh.
Afghanistan.
Uh-huh.
Pakistan.
Uh-huh.
Syria.
Uh-huh.
We've been at war my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. No, we've been at war
Literally.
most people's lives, you know? Most people's lives. We've been at war since World War One. And it sounds weird because it's like, no, because World War One ended and we were at peacetime for a while, but no, there were still small wars going on.
Yeah.
Definitely since World War Two. If I'm wrong about that, definitely from World War Two on,
Yes.
we've been at war.
That I can
since.
confirm.
Carrots were originally purple. What? France was still executing people with a guillotine when the first Star Wars film came out.
1975.
Ow! That hurts my brain.
It's 1975. They're still using a guillotine.
This is a very good thing to know. There are more public libraries than McDonald's in the U.S., but you
That
know
is
what?
very good.
10 years from now, that may not still be
Well, here's a
true fact,
question.
so we
There's
gotta
more
cherish
public
them.
libraries than there are McDonald's, but I bet you McDonald's has more people per visit than, or more people per day than a library does.
Depends on where it is, honestly.
It's sad.
There's some public libraries that are popping, son. 15. Humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas, yo. What?
Nice.
That shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's peanut butter jelly time. He was a banana.
Wow.
An octopus has 3 hearts.
Interesting.
3 of hearts. I need you. I need you.
I have a hard enough time with one. I don't need 3.
There's enough water in Lake Superior to cover all of North and South America in 1 foot of water.
Whoa.
Lake Superior be deep, yo.
Whoa.
18. There's a basketball court on the top floor of the U.S. Supreme Court building, known as the highest court in the land.
Now that's funny.
And that's pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, but how often does anybody play that?
Probably
Supreme
never,
Court's just a
but
bunch of fuddy
It's
duddies.
probably just there,
a
but
bunch
it's
of old
still
dudes.
funny.
What do they go throw out their hip trying to play horse?
Yeah, why not?
If a piece of paper were folded 42 times, it would reach to the moon.
Whoa.
Yeah, but you can't fold a piece of paper past 7 times.
I know, I've tried.
Upiston is upside down, spelled upside down with different letters of the alphabet. Okay.
Oh.
There are about twice as many nipples on Earth as there are people.
Gee.
I don't believe that. About, though, because there are some people with 1 nipple, some people with extras.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be the exact double of how many people we got on Earth. Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia.
Oh, whoa, okay. Hold on now. I always thought camels were like a Middle East thing.
Maybe they've been importing them their whole life, or maybe they became extinct in the Middle East and or Saudi Arabia just wants an excess of camels. Therefore, instead of buying them from all the Middle East countries and actually supporting them and giving them money and making one of them possibly having a chance at financial success, it's like, why not give it to a country that's its own continent? You know what I'm saying? That it isn't our neighbor. You know. All right. The name Jessica was created by Shakespeare in the play Merchant of Venice.
Ah.
The YKK on your zipper stands for Yoshida Kogyo Kabushikigayashi.
Say what now?
Yoshida Kogyo Kabushiki Geisha. Kabushiki Geisha.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's pretty good, right? All right. If you put your finger in your ear and scratch, it sounds just like Pac-Man. I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah,
doing
I
that,
don't
but-
think that's one we're gonna put to the test.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, it does. Every year, hundreds of new trees grow because of squirrels forgetting where they buried their nuts. Damn squirrels, just keep track of your nuts.
No, we need more trees. They create oxygen.
Yeah, but to keep track of your nuts, trees. Squirrels? Just keep track of your nuts. I just feel bad because I think about the squirrels looking for their nuts. Like, where did I put that damn thing? Oh, she's gonna kill me. I told her I knew where it was. Thinking about going back to a squirrel wife.
Yeah.
Every time I see any kind of wild animal, I think about it. It's squirrel family, or it's squirrel family. It's wild family, or it's if I see a deer, I think about its Bambi family and stuff like that. If I see pigeons, I think about the pigeons from Animaniacs or whatever.
Oh,
The little attitude ones.
yeah.
It rains diamonds on Saturn and Jupiter. Diamonds are forever.
That's interesting.
That's stupid. No, that's actually really insanely cool. Just imagine if it rained diamonds here, we'd all be dead. All right.
Oh yeah.
There are more atoms in a glass of water than there are glasses of water in all the oceans on Earth.
Yeah, hold on.
I believe
Real
that.
quick, going back to that last one. There you go. There's some ideas. Anybody's looking to propose to somebody. You want to make it special? Get her a diamond from Jupiter.
Or just wait till you can take a what do you call it? A Virgin Galactic flight to Jupiter or Saturn and try and find a way to propose under a
Diamond-filled sky.
under a diamond-filled sky with your diamond-resistant umbrella, if there's ever going to be such a thing.
Right?
You know. All right. Every 2 minutes, we take more pictures than all of humanity did in the 19th century.
I believe that.
I 100% believe that. There's something wrong with it too.
Yeah.
Maine is the closest U.S. state to Africa. That's 100% true.
That's interesting.
There's only one hole in a straw. Yeah.
only one hole.
Yeah, it's a continuous hole.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting semantics, man.
It's crazy. Alaska is simultaneously the most northern, the most western, and the most eastern state in the U.S. True.
Most western and most eastern. Oh, yeah, because North Pole, yeah.
We also got to think about the hemispheres.
Yeah,
And,
that's what-
Alaska reaches into the eastern hemisphere, I think, or western hemisphere or something. Yeah, western.
East. We are the west.
West Coast sun, Tupac. Dolphins have names for one another. I believe that. All right, vending machines are twice as likely to kill you as a shark is. I believe that, man.
Carl's
You
Jr.,
ever
idiocracy.
reach your hand into a vending machine? Oh my God, it's
No, thank
terrifying
God.
sometimes. All right, the toy Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
It has a name.
Imagine if you married a chick named Barb Roberts and then found that out, and she's like hideously ugly too. It's like, come on, toy gods, what's going on here? A strawberry isn't a berry, but a banana is.
Very
I believe that.
interesting.
Yeah. So are avocados and watermelon. They're berries. Wow.
Oh.
The probability of you drinking a glass of water that contains a molecule of water that also passed through a dinosaur is almost 100%. Yep. Every drop of water that you've ever drinking, or hold on, I'm sorry, every drop of water that anybody's ever drinking on this planet, at least for the last few thousand years, has been pissed out at least once by somebody else on the planet.
Yeah.
Some shit
Think
like that.
about that.
Yeah. So you're drinking other people's piss, whether you like it or not. All right. In Welsh
Well,
folklore,
that's where the fluoride comes in, yeah.
Yep. In Welsh folklore, corgis were the preferred method of transportation for fairies.
Oh.
I believe it. Come on, they're so cute. You got
They
those
are.
giant ears to hold on to. That's if you believe in fairies. Which I do.
I believe in corgis.
Oh, I hate that. Wouldn't that be crazy though if fairies were real? There's people really out there. I think they're just schizophrenic who believe in fairies, like full on believe that fairies are real and that they've seen them and that they can see them and stuff like that. It's like I think that's where people have had pretty visual dreams or lucid dreams,
You get
and they
people
think
who-
that they really
Ireland,
have
leprechauns.
Leprechauns. I think there
Every
is
country
something.
has their thing.
See, I think that has something to do with. That's what's kind of drew me to Hollow Earth and Hollow Earth theory and stuff like that. Was a lot of the lore and chupacabra and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than she did to the building of the Great Pyramid. That's insane.
That is insane.
Think about it. When you remember something, you're only thinking of the memory of that event, not the time it happened. Exactly. Because you can't pull the actual time it happened to the forefront of your brain. You can only pull your recollection of it or your memory of it. So if that memory somehow gets altered or disrupted, then you can't say, oh, okay, I'll just go back and get a new memory of that or something. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to have video memory of stuff.
Until Total Recall comes true.
Yeah, I don't know. North Korea and Finland are separated by one country. Oh, are they? Oh. Will Smith is now older than Uncle Phil was at the beginning of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's a little disturbing.
That's very disturbing.
What's more disturbing is that there's little kids who have no idea what Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is.
Or Will Smith.
A pig's orgasm can last for 30 minutes. Interesting.
Very.
Hey, that's kind of pretty awesome if you're the dude.
Right.
I guess
Wow.
that's kind of the truth for chicks. Like for
Yeah.
a chick, that can be the truth. A female.
It's a lot harder for a dude.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
think,
know if that's possible. Honestly, I think it's happened, but I don't think it's like it's so rare. It's like lightning striking from the center of the galaxy to our planet. It's like it's not going to happen ever again. All right, a Venus day is longer than a Venus year. I believe that. There have been studies that show that goats like us have accents.
Interesting.
Yeah, come on, you didn't see that Taylor Swift video, whatever, the goats? If you say Jesus backwards, it sounds like sausage.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Wayne Allwine and Rusty Taylor, who respectively voiced Mickey and Minnie Mouse, were married in real life. Wow,
little fun fact.
What a love story. What a love story. Hello, Rusty. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Minnie. Hello, Mickey. Sorry. The order of the alphabet is completely random. I definitely believe that. I thought that when I was a kid, and they tried telling me I was wrong and that there was a purpose behind it, and they didn't know it. It was something that not too many people knew, but there was definitely a purpose behind it. It's crap. So your teachers do lie to you. All right.
As my teacher told me.
Yep. There are more ways to shuffle a deck of cards than there are atoms on Earth.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can shuffle a deck of cards in literally trillions of different ways. You know? And they're not talking about, I don't think that means that there are more different combinations of what the cards end up being, what the sequential order of the cards are.
Shuffling technique.
Ways of shuffling cards. Yes. There are more ways to shuffle a deck. Yep.
And that's all. I didn't know there were that many ways, but I knew there's a lot. But
wow. Yeah. Pluto never made a full orbit around the sun from the time it was discovered to when it was declassified as a planet. Oh.
It's okay, Pluto. I'm not a planet anymore either.
Poor Pluto. Rest in peace. Alright, you can't breathe and swallow at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where choking comes from a lot of times. Why people choke when they're eating, because they're trying to breathe while they're swallowing their food. All right, chocolate milk was invented in Ireland.
Did not know that.
Good to know, mate. Good to know.
We don't say mate.
Oh, top of the morning to you.
Me laddie.
Me laddie.
There you go.
Me lad. Me lad. Your chocolate milk, me lad. All right, let's move on. The oldest person on Earth was born closer to the signing of the United States Constitution than to now. Yeah, I'm not good at that one.
That's interesting.
Yeah. German is the second most spoken language in North Dakota. Interesting. Must be a lot of Nazis there.
Yeah. Paperclip. Project Paperclip.
Yeah, you know, and to mention that, where they stopped paying the ex-Nazis Social Security benefits, even though it was only like 2 or 3 people left. Anyway.
Yeah, aren't they all dead now?
Yeah, no, most of them, yeah. A TI-83 calculator has 6 times more processing power than the computer that landed Apollo 11 on the moon. Believe it. Believe it,
technology
folks.
Advances.
That's technology for you. There's less time between the existence of the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the existence of humans than there was between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Stegosaurus.
Whoa.
That's
they existed the same time at Jurassic Park.
We all existed together not even 6,000 years ago, because the Earth was created 6,000 years ago and we walked hand in hand with dinosaurs. Go check out the Dr. Ham or whatever, this museum. It's awesome. Christianity rules, man.
You didn't see that documentary, Jurassic Park?
Go Christians. Go. I want to start a Christian action cartoon. Like, what do you call it? What is it? Captain Planet. He's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to 0. So it's like kind of like that, but
I wonder if that's what Al Gore...
Captain Christian!
I think Al Gore just watched a little too much Captain Planet, and then he turned the channel and saw the Toxic Avenger and said, oh, I can't let it get to this point.
Yeah. Toxic Christian, he's on the level, gonna take it straight to the devil.
I don't think that show would...
Captain Christian, that was so awesome. Anyway, on Adult Swim or something. Wow. Come on, not on Nickelodeon. Really? Anyway, and if you feel like you've wasted your time reading this, just remember, your entire life led up to this fact. Ain't that the truth?
Oh, they burn us in the end. That ain't cool.
But it's the truth. It's a really startling fact. That anybody watching this right now, I hope this really doesn't tick you off. Or turn you off of us. But your life has brought you to this moment right now of watching me eat a Dorito chip, him smoke a brown cigarette looking thing, and us reading 58 facts that might just blow your mind off of BuzzFeed. Your life has brought you to this moment right now. So unless you're sitting in like an amazing house, something's up. Get your shit together. Let's say, moving on.
Moving on, I think we got some more stuff we can throw out there.
Nerd stuff? Did you say nerd stuff?
More.
No, we got more.
stuff.
All right. A teaspoon of honey is actually the life work of 12 bees. All right? So,
They have jobs. Why don't we have jobs?
well, it's, I look at bees as kind of like their,
Bees have more jobs
well, I
available
look
than
at
humans.
bees like sperm, okay? Like, because if the bees die off, we die off. If sperm
True
dies
that.
off, we die off, okay? All right. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. There's a jellyfish that reverts to an earlier stage in its development cycle in order to cheat death.
Interesting.
Well, the jellyfish is one of the only animals that has the ability to continually regenerate cells. Every 7 years, the human body regenerates its cells. Not like every 7 years on the dot, like how a snake would shed its skin or something. Every 7 years, within that 7 year span, every single cell in your body, every brain cell, every skin cell, every single cell in your body has completely been replaced. So you're literally, after 7 years, you can definitely say that, or you can always say that 7 years ago, you were a completely different person. Or you're a completely different person
There you
physically
go.
now than you were 7 years ago. But that cycle, that cell regeneration, slows down and stops as we get older. It's like that's the mission of so many global elite and neocons and Zionists out there, is to figure out how to turn that gene constantly on, or just how to constantly have it be able to replicate new cells just on indefinitely. So the people, you can just keep living. Yeah, your body might get a little bit wrinkly and stuff. You might have to do upkeep to your body, but your cells will continue to regenerate. Whereas eventually your heart dies or something dies, you die of natural causes because there haven't been new cells. So those cells are dying, and there's nothing. There was never a replacement for those cells, or the replacement for those cells. Well, that stopped. You know what I'm saying? The cycle stopped. So there was no new heart cells coming in. So your heart just stops because those cells are dying, and they can't like the cells that make up the tissue of your heart are becoming dead tissue, dead cells. So they can't pump. You know what I'm saying? Like the blood that's flowing to them can't even do anything to them anymore. It's crazy to really think of that. That's really what happens when somebody dies of natural causes. Like you would think, well, if somebody lives healthy, they could live almost indefinitely. You would think, couldn't they? Or it's like, okay, yeah, you get old and you get brittle and this and that, but people have lived 120. But how come nobody's really lived past that? Because there's that cycle in our cells where they can't regenerate past a certain point. I think it's like 52 times or something like that is the max. And also, the more we damage our body with processed foods and a bad diet and stuff like that.
Fluoridated water, which I'm drinking with my pharmaceutical agenda antibiotics.
Hells yeah. Yeah, but it's all around you. It's not like you can avoid it.
And the wonderful chemicals in our cigarettes.
That's what I've learned.
We so happily smoke.
We should never. That's one thing is when it comes to fluoride, I've come to a conclusion: never drink your tap water unless you already know and have done the research to know that your tap water is not fluoridated. But as far as fluoridated toothpaste goes, as long as you're not the type of person who's swallowing their toothpaste, and most people know from a young age not to swallow your toothpaste,
Most people, we
it's
stress.
not a bad thing to brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste. I don't think that's a bad thing. Now, anything else that may have fluoride in it, I'm trying to think. I can't think of
I know
anything else that
bread
does.
used to. I don't know if it does now.
Yeah, I don't think like the dentist. You know what I'm saying? If you went to the dentist, he might give you fluoride. But other than that, I can't think of anything else that has fluoride in it. But like, I think the main concern is nobody should be drinking fluoride like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be drinking something that is straight up laced with fluoride,
I am
and
not
also
only
laced with.
ingesting poison.
But it's laced
fluoride
with- what do you
is-
call it?
Look up rat poison. Look at the main ingredient in rat poison.
It's the pharmaceuticals in there as well. There's no filtration system at water filtration plants to where the tap water comes from for the pharmaceuticals that are dumped into the system, and also the pharmaceuticals that come out in human waste as well. The unprocessed or fully released or whatever, fully used pharmaceuticals that are going into the stuff. Yeah, the waste gets processed out, but the pharmaceuticals aren't treated as waste. Pharmaceuticals get through. You know what I'm saying? It's not sterilized and filtered to that point where
Which
if there's
means
pharmaceutical
if it continues
particles
the way
in
it is now, we would eventually,
drinking it.
within so many
And fluoride.
years, get to a point where tap water is literally undrinkable to the point where you would take a sip and die somewhere down the road because there'd be something in it that would interact badly with you
Yeah.
or the other things that are in it.
Yeah, but then they'll just tell you you're crazy. Or some company will just be lobby to protect their whatever
Yeah.
they're trying to do, like fracking. You
Well,
know?
maybe by then they'll ban water.
There's nothing wrong with the water. The water's safe, and then you just watch videos of people lighting their water that comes out of the faucet, lighting it on fire.
Yeah, you know.
All right. We already know about mammoths still walking the earth. If your car could drive straight up, it would take about an hour to get to space. I want to know at what speed. About 100
Yep.
miles an hour. What?
Kind of curious.
There it is. Nintendo Corporation was created before the fall of the Ottoman Empire. I've heard about that before and looked into it, and yes, that is true.
Fill me in, because I've...
The Nintendo Corporation, basically the corporation that originally started, wasn't called Nintendo, but a corporation that was into entertainment and festivities or something like that, started before the end of the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman Empire fell, and this corporation continued on and changed its name or got bought out by another corporation and continued on and ended up becoming Nintendo. And
Interesting.
before Nintendo got into video games, I think they were into arcade games. And before
Yes.
that, they were into something else. I don't even think they were into computers. I think they were into like home games or something like that, or board games or something. I don't know. Nintendo wasn't always into video games, but Nintendo obviously was around for a long time. And just because it was around before the fall of the Ottoman Empire doesn't mean that at some point, or for 100 or 200 or even 500 years, it wasn't only 2 or 3 people for that whole time. You know, like 2 or 3 people, it just got passed down through generations in a family or whatever, but it was never a huge conglomerate corporation until it actually got into video games, you know?
Very interesting.
Yep. All planets in the solar system fit between the Earth and the Moon. The Sun does not. That's pretty insane.
Huh.
Okay, we already got the all water like spirit. You have never seen your face, only pictures and reflections. That's
True.
You can never see
Yeah,
your face.
you cannot physically do it.
Well,
Well,
at some point, I think there will be a time where you'll be able to wire a camera to your brain, and it'll basically bypass this visual perception. It'll be for blind
yeah, I don't
people.
want the chip.
That'll be for blind people, but eventually it'll come out where people can do it themselves. And I don't even know if it'll be a chip. I think it'll just be more of like a headset that you wear.
Huh.
But once you put this on, your vision, what you see right now, that's kind of cut off, and that feed is replaced by the camera feed. So as you can turn the camera around and look at yourself, and that's literally those eyes transmitting to your brain. So that is you seeing yourself.
But right now, you cannot do that.
But then again, you're also not seeing yourself. That's where you really get into philosophy and stuff like that, is because even then you think you're seeing yourself, but you're actually seeing the broadcast of what that lens on that camera is seeing.
Yeah.
You're not literally seeing it yourself. Even your eyes, you can't say, oh, well, I'm seeing it myself. You know, you're trusting that your eyes are projecting to you what's going on out here. But your eyes, if your eyes decided or somehow your eyes malfunctioned, and which it happens, people have hallucinations and stuff like that,
Yeah.
your eyes malfunction, and you all of a sudden can't trust what your eyes are telling you. So it's not like your eyes are seeing this, and even if you were able to pull your eyes out of your socket and look at yourself, how do you even know that that's really yourself? How do you even know that that's the truth? You know what I'm saying? How do you know your eyes just aren't lying to you? That as you turn around, it's actually blank, because you're not actually here, but your eyes are lying to you and showing you a picture of yourself. So you're even sure that it's you,
thought.
because your eyes can lie to you. So.
Yes, they can.
And at any moment, it's not like, and it happens. Sometimes it just happens to people out of the blue. MK Ultra. Alright. 1 million seconds is over 11 days. 1 billion seconds is over 31 years. So if you ever tell somebody,
Whoa.
hey, I'll see you in about 1 million seconds, and you know you're going to see them in a little less than 2 weeks, say, hey, I'll see you in about 1 million seconds. And when they're like, what? Just be like, 1 million seconds, and run. And see how they react. All right, Mars is the only known planet in our solar system solely inhabited by functioning robots. That's bull poop, because I get some of those robots aren't functioning. Remember the robots that got shut down?
Oh yeah, the ones
That
that,
got
have
like
already.
the not that got shut down because they were done their mission, but landed on Mars, were looking around, and they weren't crawlers. They were just probes to take video or whatever, take pictures from where they landed.
Okay.
But some of them landed and got shut off, or somehow like they tried to say it was storms or wind or like dust storms or something like
Oh,
that.
that's easy to explain.
But they
Transformers.
lost probably like 3 or 4 probes that had cameras on them that were supposed to be taking pictures. They lost like 3 or 4 of them on Mars. I think there's a lot more going on Mars than
They
we
lost
But
them.
here's my question: if that's the truth, there's a lot of people who believe that there's alien civilizations and stuff like that on Mars. Aren't you able to get a good enough telescope, or at least access to a good enough telescope, to really look at Mars and try and get an idea of the surface to see if there's any kind of activity? If you don't trust the NASA pictures and all that, and I think if somebody would have been able to do that and would have been able to sneak out some pictures of the surface, or is that something where it's like that's highly, highly, highly classified? If you try and leak something
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
what
you're
I'm
just
thinking.
dead immediately.
I'm thinking it's
like
probably something
you're dead
like
in a car
that.
accident and nobody even knew you were looking into that because you were afraid to tell anybody about it because it sounded so crazy until you actually had the proof to show them. All right, 2013 was the first year since 1987, 26 years, that didn't have a set of matching numbers. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
The oldest person in the world was born with a completely different set of humans.
Interesting. Yeah.
From the time it was established as a planet to the time the title of the planet was revoked, Pluto did not complete a full revolution
Yeah,
around
we
the sun.
knew
We
that.
know that. If Walmart was a country, it would be ranked as the 19th most powerful due to its economic status. 25 million of your cells died while you were reading this sentence.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, is it's a regeneration thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was like more of a every couple years or once a year, once every few months, like cells get replaced. But maybe it's just constantly cells are...
I thought it was like maybe as they get damaged, they might get replaced.
But it's like when you think
Every
about that,
7
think about
years
somebody
is-
who just rapidly out of the blue just takes like a nosedive. It's like a grandpa or something, like where they seem like they're fine. You see them one week and then the next week they're literally like on their deathbed and looking like they're dying. And it's like, I just saw you a week ago. You were like, looked like you were ready to go for a jog. Like, what the heck happened to you? Well, think about that. 25 million of your cells died while you were reading this sentence. Well, that's how quick stuff is going on in your body. So out of the blue, especially if something's left untreated within a day or two, that could you could literally die from something, and that does happen. That's crazy because it kind of gets you to understand a little bit how that.
Which is why I was willing to go to a pharmaceutical.
Yep. All right. So this is how many beers the defense budget will buy is 196,750,000,000 beers.
Oh, by the way, the defense budget, for people who don't know,
Oh yeah, is what? Go ahead.
$787 billion.
Would it be, folks? Would it be? All right.
That's
how
our
many beers?
annual. That's just this year, our defense budget.
All right, so that would buy 112,428,571.43 boob jobs. Okay. Oh, I give you 3 cows for your wife. Oh, cows, it doesn't even, what do you call it? It doesn't even want to give you anything on cows. Look, yeah, doesn't give you an answer for cows because
Interesting.
cows you trade wives and daughters for. All right, elephants. All right, you can buy 39,896,583.19 elephants. You could probably save all the elephants in the world for the next 100 to 200 years
What
with
else
that
is
money.
on this list here? What do we got here?
All right, gold.
iPhones. How many iPhones with the defense
We're
budget?
going through one by one. Let's see. Gold is not up, okay. iPhones. All right, so you can get 1,972,431,077.69 8-gigabyte iPhones.
With our
For the defense
2014 defense budget.
Yep. This one I found really interesting. Kidneys. You can get 31,480,000 kidneys. So you can, everybody that's on the kidney transplant list, you could literally buy one
Wait.
or produce one. For
I like the asterisks. We don't
Yeah.
condone the purchase of organs
On
on
the
the black market, though there are those that argue it would work better.
Yeah. All right. Pork bellies. I don't even know what pork bellies are.
I don't
Luckily,
either,
there's
but-
no. There's nothing for it. I wanted to find food, but stars. I guess this is the naming rights for stars. You can name stars.
At least that's what the International Star Registry
Yeah, okay.
charges,
Yeah.
though we must warn you it doesn't include shipping and
Yeah.
handling.
So 31,480,000,000 stars. 31 billion stars can be named with the defense budget. So we could name every star in the sky if we wanted to with the star registry. Man, wouldn't they be like the most powerful company in the world out of nowhere? All right, how many Thigh Masters? All right, look at that.
They
You
still
can get-
make those things?
Probably. You can get 29,256,505,576.21 Thigh Masters. include shipping and handling, and we're not talking some no-name Thighmaster either. These are Susanna Summers Thighmaster Gold. Look at that. So you can get 29 billion Thighmasters.
Get in shape.
And then with
defense
unleaded
budget.
gas. I wanted gas was the one I really wanted to say. Oh well.
I was kind of curious on gas.
All right. So honestly, I think let's see.
That is kind of astonishing that our defense budget
Rain.
could. Wow. Do we really need to spend $787 billion this year for defense?
Yep. It's really, really, really.
If we even
really
took
sad.
half of that and put it toward some of those items,
I think that's the main
like
reason.
organs for people who need them.
If there's an alien race or even multiple alien races out there that are watching us and keeping an eye on us to wait for us to become evolved enough that they'll talk to us, if they're out there, I think that's one of the main things they look at is the hunger epidemic and poverty and that going on, but also how we so easily let that go on and act like that's a problem, but there's really no good solution to it. Nobody's willing to really put any kind of real money towards it. No country's really trying to put any real money towards it. That combined with how much we spend on military is like, it's pretty obvious where their priorities are. They're not an evolved race, and have we already missed out on the boat of where somebody was going to want to interact with us, an alien race was going to want to interact with us and bring us like the greatest technology ever, would be able to bring us technology to solve the hunger issue, the world hunger issue,
Or may just
and
see
poverty
that
issue,
humanity's not trying.
and
So.
because of not they see humanity's not trying, because of the where we put 99% of our resources or 98% of our resources is towards defense and military. It's like they can't even risk coming here to try and
Yeah.
help us with that because we'll just attack them.
Yeah.
We're not evolved enough, you know what I'm saying? So it's really sad that it's like a double-edged sword, is that they won't even contact us or anything because of the military thing, but also because of the military thing, the hunger epidemic continues to go on. Instead of putting any of that money towards the hunger epidemic, they don't do that, and it continues on. And with that, they also might be keeping the hunger epidemic. Like, they may not even need to do that. They may be able to just stop spending so much money on military, and the hunger epidemic will be solved by an outside alien race that is, like, willing to help us, just waiting for us to stop being so damn aggressive. You know?
It makes sense.
But I think if there's an alien race even watching, if we were able to take some of that
If I was
military
looking
budget and
down
put it
on
towards
this
the hunger,
planet,
then...
yeah.
But if we were able to take some of that military budget, put it towards the hunger, if there's an alien race watching us, that might be the step they might have needed to see to actually peacefully interact with us and share their technology with us and let us explore the stars with them. You know what I'm saying?
If I was looking down at this planet and saw that, I'd be sitting there. These people are savages. I'm not risking going down there. Let's go to the next
if we
planet.
if we can get past some of these, it's so crazy how now I'm talking like this. How I was so crazy earlier, but we can get past some of our humanity's flaws and immaturities. We can get past some of these. I honestly believe that, like, within a 25 to 30 year span, if we were able to get past that, we could be contacted by an alien species or an alien race, technology shared with us, and us be at a Star Trek exploring the galaxy and exploring the stars and interacting with other alien species and races and helping them and the whole Star Trek thing. We could be to that in literally 25 or 30 years. We could get to that within 25 to 30 years if we grew up and an alien race helped us with their technology and we were able to cultivate our own space
the key
exploration
there-
program.
yeah,
But we
we-
could be there. We could be at Star Trek, Next Generation, or even Star Trek Original Series.
But we
that
need to grow
world.
up first. The key is not the alien race helping us. The key is us as humanity
Because we
first
can even
have to
do it
grow up
ourselves.
before
That's the
that.
saddest part is we
Yes.
can even do it ourselves.
If
we could grow up, we could
Yeah.
do it ourselves. But if we could grow up,
the
there may be an
technology
alien
there,
race.
it's being
But there
intentionally
may
withheld.
be an
It's-
alien race that's willing to literally hold our hand and get us up to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Not evolution-wise, that's on us, but get us up to where we need to be as far as exploring the galaxy and being a part of the universal community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The space community. Space Cash. Space Cash, man, see? Space Cash. I brought Space Cash for you. I'm hiding my Space Cash here. Don't do anything with my Space Cash, see? You ever seen that South Park episode?
I did,
With
yes.
Space Cash guy.
And it wasn't
Oh,
even
so
real.
good. But it was a test,
It was
exactly
great.
what we're talking about. It was
Yes.
a test to humanity. How we're
And
just
humanity
so
failed
immature.
pitifully.
And we're so immature. And we stand by our immaturity. That's the saddest part.
I like how the countries are arguing
we stand
with
by
each
our
other
immaturity.
over-
Yeah.
It's our space cash. Well, we want half the space cash. Well, we'll give you
Right.
some of the space
Look,
cash.
An alien race could say, hey, listen, we'll come. An alien race could show up in the sky one day, Project Bluebeam, oh no. Could show up in the sky
Project
one
Bluebeam.
day and literally say, hey, listen, if you guys can get along with each other, if all you countries can get along with each other, we'll come down and help you out and share our technology with you. If you guys can just agree on certain points, on land, you know what I'm saying? If you can agree that to any land dispute you have, to just split it 50-50, you know what I'm saying? To just end all disputes, to do all that, it would never happen because you would have countries like, no.
Yeah.
I want this, and this is how it's going to go, and no, we're going to negotiate.
Yeah,
this.
and we're
gonna
gonna keep that over there 'cause
And
we have a
they wouldn't
pipeline there.
understand,
Yeah.
like, all right, time to just drop that shit to the side. It's petty, like high school type of shit.
Yeah.
You know how, like, when you
Compared
get out of
to
high
the grand
school,
scheme.
when you get out of high school and you've been out of high school for 3 or 4 years, and then you come across somebody who's sophomore or junior in high school, and you see them like either talking on their phone or talking to one of their friends about the high school drama and this and that, and you're like, I'm so glad I've like grew out of that, or like I don't care about that kind of stuff anymore. I don't gossip or drama or try and create drama out of things like that anymore. I'm so happy I don't do that anymore. It's like that's where we need to get as humanity, where we can like look back and be like, we were so young and immature then. But like we stand by our immaturity, our humanity immaturity. We stand by that. Like you see people stand by that. So it's like we're not going to get anywhere while people still stand by that humanity and maturity. And they would still stand by it even if there was an alien race talking to us saying, look, we'll peacefully be able to advance your world 1,000 years technology-wise. And as long as you can agree to be peaceful, they wouldn't want to do it. That's what would be sad.
But I bet if you tell them, look, we're giving you technology that'll let you watch football and Kim Kardashian without even owning a TV, it'll be right beamed into your head, and you can even just without a controller, just from your mind play Call of Duty.
Yeah, but that's
when they'll jump on it.
Yeah, but that's when it's going to be the evil alien race that's
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
dominate you and take over your mind
Yep.
and have
Give you
just be
what you
zombies.
want,
They want
not
to give you
what you
everything that you
should.
want, but they want to give you virtual reality world. So you go to work, everything you do is from inside your house. So there's almost no reason to go outside. So as the aliens start terraforming and changing the world, and they're like, hey, we're gonna give you a much better apartment or a much better house located here because we're doing something in this area. Well, you don't care because you got your virtual reality world. You don't care about going outside. That would be an evil alien race trying to do that. A good alien race would come and say, forget about your TV, forget about your technology that you have now that is only distractions. It's not evolving you as a species. It's devolving you as a species. Realize it as that. Step away from it. Step outside. Get some fresh air. Enjoy that a good alien species or race would say that and encourage us to be what we really are and not push us towards the singularity, which a bad alien race would push us towards a singularity because they would be so technologically advanced that they could have control over that singularity or control over us once singularity happens. Which singularity is the merging of computers, robots, and human beings. Like human beings merging with technology and technology becoming sentient as well. You know, once humans merge with technology to a certain extent, technology becomes sentient. You know, you like from that point forward, you have sentient technology, and that's where things get really
Scary thought, huh?
Isaac Asimov. Go check out Isaac Asimov. All right, so on that note, I think we should wrap it up. I wanted to bring up Prince E. You know, suck.
You're enjoying those MSGs over there way too much.
Doesn't it suck when you're trying to watch something? Watch some TV. I'm trying to watch my real world rules challenge. What do you call it? Doesn't it suck when you're trying to watch something and somebody's got a bag of chips, but right?
Yeah.
One, instead of opening the bag of chips, like taking the chip out,
Yeah.
they're trying to be quiet, but not realizing that they're being twice as loud and twice as obnoxious while they're trying to be quiet.
The
and
worst
bring
is
their
in
bag.
a movie theater. Yup. You get that in movie theaters a lot.
Okay, then I got it open. So instead of just being like, all right, I got it open, let me just reach in there and grab something. Now I got it open. Well, It's got to be.
Making all the noise
Yep.
you possibly can.
Yep. And then finally they got it, and you're like, oh, thank God. And you finally get your concentration back. Because, of course, it's never they take a chip out and it's a bite right away. It's always got to be like, okay, well, now I know this is going to make noise, so I need to give it a second before I really bite into this. And they don't realize it's going to piss you off even more the longer you're waiting to do it. But then sitting there, you regained your attention to what you were watching or paying attention to, then
Yes, the long, slow crunch is much more annoying than just a quick.
it works with Doritos, because Doritos, even when somebody closes their mouth, you still hear it crunching on the inside of their mouth. It's that loud. But they're so good. No, I am a fan of Doritos. I'm like Stephen Colbert. I know how bad they are for me. I just still love them.
I can't say anything. For at least 15, 20 years now, I'd almost call it an addiction.
It is.
Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken
Ew.
are my two biggest weaknesses.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I feel bad for your toilet over the past however many years. But I can't stand. I don't want to say I can't stand. I just don't understand how anybody, and it's a Taco Bell. It's a lot of people who love Taco Bell, love Doritos, and love Mountain Dew.
Yes, yes, and yes.
All three of them are like a deadly combination on your kidneys and your liver and your stomach and your digestive system.
Well, yesterday I had Mountain
Deadly
Dew for like
combination.
the first time in months.
Mountain Dew Gold Red is the only Mountain Dew I ever thought was
I
like
might
half
do.
decent.
I might do KFC or
Mountain Dew
Taco
sucks.
Bell once every couple weeks. Like, it's not an everyday thing. There was a time where I would literally every day after work it would be either Taco Bell, Burger King, or KFC on the way home every day.
I think we might have gotten a bird.
Don't
in the
do that
studio.
anymore.
I think there's a bird in the studio.
We better call the cute little
No.
kitty over here to deal with it.
My duck. Sorry, I got a pet duck over the weekend. All right.
Yes, I
wanna wrap it
think
up,
that's
but-
him up there on the blue hat.
I wanted to let Princey come on the show today and give us his thoughts about Ferguson. Oh, there's a cute little prairie dog.
Oh, prairie dog.
All right, but I want Princey to give us his thoughts on Ferguson. Keep in mind, this was on the 1st of September that this was posted. Today is like the 8th of December or something. 7th. So it's nuts. This was like literally more than 3 months ago. But it's so crazy how relevant this is to everything that's still going on right now. So I think the Ferguson riots are starting to calm down, but there's more riots and everybody's pissed and people are watching with Hawkeyes now and no cops are like chilling out. No cops are
they're
like,
not.
hey, it's
because
just
they
time
see
to show
these
up.
cops not getting indicted, so they get free
Well, it's
reign.
just
Let's
business
roll.
as
The
usual.
precedent's set.
It's just business as usual. They think they're justified anytime they feel like they need to use force. They're justified and they can get away with it. It's like the fucking cool kid at school who, like, no matter what he does, he's able to blame it on somebody else. And even if it was obviously him, since he's the cool kid, and even the teachers and principals and stuff like that like him, it's like they decide to actually punish the kid he blamed it on. When there's no evidence against the kid he blamed it on, but everybody likes the popular kid. You know, nobody wants to really mess up his life or get him in trouble with his parents or anything like that. It's like that kind of stuff does happen. You think, oh,
Yeah, it
that
does.
doesn't happen. It's like
No, I've
that kind of
seen
stuff
that
does happen.
I've seen that kind of stuff happen.
It's sad. All right, so Princey, what are your thoughts about Ferguson? Yeah, what do you think? Nobody wants to hear or to say about Ferguson.
If you have little ones in the room, there's some foul language.
I don't think
A
anybody
lot
has
of-
little ones watching our video or watching our show, but good. Thank you.
What did you just say? Alright, so we're talking about Ferguson. Right. Celebrities, politicians, activists, whatever. How do you fix Ferguson is the question. Alright? And we fix Ferguson in this. I gotta get to my car, man. Something died. Yeah. We fix Ferguson in the same way we fix Afghanistan, Gaza, Palestine, Chicago, and that is to stop. We have to stop and be open to the possibility that we have been brainwashed on every single level of our lives. Brainwashed with conditioned thoughts, thoughts that we have fought over, died over, killed over, gotten angry, sad, and depressed over. Okay. We're so loyal to these thoughts, right? Right. But we gotta question them, because they were created by the culture that we were born in. Look at that word, culture, that we were born in, right? Okay. All right. This culture taught us that race was real, and we believed it. It taught us that that war and violence creates peace, and we believed it. It taught us that love was weakness, and we believed it. We ate it up, right? But open any history book, right? Any history book, and you'll notice a trend. Generation after fucking generation, it's the same story over and over again. We've tried everything from politics to protests to rallies to riots to marches. None of it works. Right. These things create short-term results, not lasting solutions. And just because our parents or grandparents believed something or did something doesn't mean that we have to continue that cycle, man. Yo, this is our time right now. As I stand here right now, this is our time. Billions have come before us and billions will come after us. We have a chance right now to make a real difference. Or we could die doing the same thing that we've been doing over and over, expecting different results. Right. So the question then is, what have we not done? See, everybody's worried about changing this, changing that. What's on the outside, right? But we've forgotten about that which is looking outside, which is ourselves. Who are you, is the question. Right? Yeah. Who are you in the deepest sense? I'm not talking about your fucking race, your ethnicity, your heritage, your fucking ancestry. I'm not even talking about your experiences or your memories. Who are you in the deepest sense? Okay. Because, figure it out. Because there will never be external peace if there is not first internal peace. And once you figure that out, I promise you the entire world will transform, will change. And as more and more people find themselves, mankind has the opportunity to transform into kind man. Right? Okay. All right. So, you know, Jesus once said that forgive them, they know not what they do. And think about that. Forgive them, they know not what they do. They know not what they do because they know not who they are. Okay. So I like that. A lot of people, they won't understand the words that I'm saying. They just won't hear it. They won't hear it. Some people will respond negatively. But for the few of you guys watching this, whoever you watching this, I urge you to try it. Try to find out who you are inside of your body or what you are inside of your body. What do you got to lose? That's it. I appreciate it, man. All right, bro.
Yep. On that note, thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time
on 3NN. You can find us on Facebook.com/3NN Podcast, YouTube.com/3NN Podcast. There's a new one. There's something else that's new.
Is it actually on 3NN Podcast on YouTube? Because I know it's on the Nick Tesla channel.
Not yet. Maybe this one will be. Probably not. This will probably be the last one on Nick Tesla, and 13 will start anew on 3NN.
Okay.
YouTube page. Alright, so
don't go there yet. There's nothing on it.
And we have a chat room too as well that's set up. It's 3nnpodcast.chatango.com. But we'll have it embedded on the website. We have a Blogspot website. I think it's 3nnpodcast.blogspot.com. So hey,
okay then,
check it out. So all that'll be getting set up within the next few weeks, and everything's really looking on the up and up. Tell you what. So thank you for joining us here on the official podcast of Open Minds Everywhere. It's been quite a good time, quite a journey today, quite a journey through the clouds. So, I guess
I think we hit just about every possible topic and subgenre of topics that you could imagine in one way, shape, or form or another today.
I think we just about hit the ceiling. I feel like we just about hit the ceiling. We were on point today. So on that note, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you on Wednesday's show, 8 p.m. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to share with your friends. And
please share with your friends.
If you have any comments, feel free to comment. And don't forget to like the video.
Watch the video, like the video,
If it's good, you know you're going to like it. If it's good, you know you're going to like it.
I guarantee, if you share this video with 10 people, you'll find one who will thank you.
Hello, fans. I think you're really something great. See you next week. And that's a wrap, folks. That's all, folks.